Please.
Katia Stevens.
Katia, where is New Zealand located?
Well, New Zealand is a country that is found southeast to Australia, pretty much, in the Pacific Ocean. And it is a small country of about 2 islands, but it is a nice place to be.
Okay. Why do you leave your country?
Well, I left this country because my mother is from Colombia, South America, and so we wanted to come and know her family and get to know what was the culture that she came from.
Thank you. Dana.
Hi, Kat.
Hello.
What touristic attraction they are in your country?
Well, say in New Zealand there are many different things that people can do. Among them there is going onto rapids or bungee jumping. There are boat trips, and people often will do treks through the bush and through the forest and stuff.
How do people travel in your daily life?
Well, most New Zealanders would have their own vehicle, like a car or a van or something, because there isn't much public transport, and because the population is so small, most people can afford to have a car, and there's not too much traffic.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Katia.
Hi.
What type of music do they listen to in New Zealand?
Well, most New Zealanders would listen to similar music to what they would listen to in the States, like Coldplay or, bands like that. So, because there is not too much typical music in New Zealand, because the Maori tribe, who were there before the English settlers, did not have many instruments, and they did not make much music at the time. So, yeah.
Okay. Katia, tell me about typical dancing in New Zealand.
Well, what I would generally think of would be the haka, which is a typical dance that the Maori tribe would use usually to declare war on another tribe, or it's also used often in rugby games or football games to sort of say, hey, this is who we are and this is what we do. And, yeah.
Thanks.
My people, the Māori, arrived by canoe in the islands of Aotearoa, or New Zealand, just 1,200 years ago. Dance is part of our everyday life. It's our way of carrying our culture into the future.
Whatungaro he tangata toitu te whenua. Man may disappear. Man will disappear, but the land will always be here. We are only the guardians of the land. This is our belief.
Hi, Katia.
Hi.
What do you usually eat for lunch?
Well, because one is usually working at that time of the day, New Zealanders will try to make something that is very simple, something very easy to make, and so that would usually be something like a sandwich or some noodles or something so that you can eat in 5 or 10 minutes and get back to work.
Tell me our typical food.
Well, I could say that the typical food of the indigenous tribes would have probably been a hangi, is what comes to my mind, is where they would get vegetables and meat and potato and bury them underground with some hot rocks so that they would cook for 2 to 3 hours, and then they would dig it up again, and by then the food would be cooked. But of the more modern New Zealanders, people do enjoy a lot probably having fish and chips, which is fish and batter and chips. And other things include roasts of like mutton, which is very common as well. Thank you. Oh.
Hello, Katia. How do you celebrate the weekends?
Well, in New Zealand, it is probably very similar to the rest of the world because, well, these are celebrated as the English would have done it. So it's often a white dress and cake with family and friends, and depending on how glamorous you want it to be.
Katia, and what decoration are you using for the celebration?
Well, that would often depend on the couple because I've seen people who've been married on beaches who don't really put much and they just have it simple. Other people have a very sophisticated wedding. Like I knew somebody else who had a wedding with the Lord of the Rings theme. And so there were swords and there were cars and there were amazing things, but depends on the couple.
Okay. At what age do people usually married?
Well, many of the people that I have known have been married at 17, very young, and 18 or 19. But others will get married at their 25, 27. It depends on the people as well.
Okay.
Katia, and another question here. We celebrate the 15th birthday of a girl because it is the year she is said to be grown up. What year is special in a New Zealander youth?
Well, I would probably say that is the 21st year, which is celebrated in both men and women who will throw a party or go out with their friends or whatever, because that is like you are an adult, you know, officially at 21. So, yeah.
How do you celebrate the Christmas?
Well, because we're in the southern hemisphere and Christmas is in summertime, we'll often maybe go to the river or go to the beach and have a barbecue with our family, usually.
Okay, Katia, thank you for your time.
Okay, welcome.
Hey, Katia, what is your hobby?
Well, I generally like to play music and sing, play guitar, etc.
Can you play something for us?
Sure, with pleasure. Okay. We are on the ground. Traffic